We do want to bring in NBC News aviation analyst Jeff Guzzetti. He is a former FAA and NTSB investigator. Jeff, we appreciate your expertise in making time to talk to us this morning. Can I start with what we saw take place in Philadelphia late last evening? This, as you watch the video, you see the steep descent of this medevac plane carrying that patient and several others there. Just from the video, your initial thoughts on what the immediate questions investigators will be asking?
Good morning, Peter. Well, it appears to me that the airplane was under power. It was moving quickly. It wasn't aerodynamically stalled, and it happened about 45 seconds after takeoff, just after the airplane climbed into a low cloud ceiling. So that opens up the possibility of perhaps pilot spatial disorientation, not being able to see the horizon because of the clouds and not concentrating on the instruments. Perhaps at that critical moment there was some sort of a mechanical malfunction that distracted the crew. We just don't know. But you can hear the engines and you can see the knife edge of the airplane as it quickly goes into the ground about 250 knots. So investigators are going to focus on the weather. They're going to look into the background of the pilot. And this airplane has a cockpit voice recorder, not a flight data recorder. So perhaps that might provide some meaning if they can get information off of it.
Jeff, I know it's early, obviously, and you don't have full information, but is there anything you can tell, just again, by watching this, about could it have been a weight issue? We know it was just taking off. It had to make a long trip. It's leaving from Philly. It has to make a stop in Missouri before it goes to Mexico. Is there anything to be made of the balancing?
In terms of weight and balance, I doubt it, because this is a medevac airplane that they're used to having the medical equipment and the patient loading all pre-planned. I don't think it's a weight and balance issue. It's certainly full of fuel, as you can see by that fireball, but it could have been a flight control malfunction. We just don't know yet, but we definitely do know that it came screaming out of the clouds in an uncontrolled manner.
You know, we hear so much about the importance of getting the data from these flights, and with so much focus on, of course, that horrific crash in D.C. Now they have the black boxes. They have this crucial information at their fingertips. What is the sort of top of mind thing that they're looking for to get it from those?
A couple of things, Laura. First of all, you know, the combination flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder for the helicopter will be very critical, because that will pinpoint the altitude that they were at just prior to the collision. You know, there's reports that it was above the 200-foot requirement, so the flight data recorder will pinpoint that. And the cockpit voice recorder perhaps could catch conversations of the crew discussing, is that the target? Is that the CRJ? So the helicopter black boxes will be critical. For the airliner black boxes, it will be less critical, because we pretty much know it was on a normal approach, but there could be a discussion about, hey, do you see that helicopter? And also the flight data recorder could indicate a final maneuver to perhaps try to avoid it.
Jeff, just a quick final one, if I can, on ATC, the air traffic controllers here. As we've learned, there was only one controller in the control tower at the time. That's not optimal per FAA, but it is allowable. How big of an issue is staffing at the ATC, not just at DCA, but nationwide?
Well, it's a big issue nationwide overall. There is, there are a couple of thousand controllers short nationwide. With regards to this particular accident, it's too early to tell. This notion of the one controller handling two positions, that's fairly common. And actually, you don't need coordination if you have better situational awareness as a single controller. But still, the congestion around D.C. is something that needs to be mitigated. Right. And I think the FAA took a good step yesterday.
I flew out of DCA last night, and there was just such an eerie calm throughout the terminals as I arrived there. Jeff Guzzetti, I appreciate your taking time to talk to us this morning. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.